What's up, Cubers? My name's Kenneth. Today I'm having the battle of the smart cubes. I've got all three smart cubes on the market right now. We got the GoCube over here, the GAN 356i, and we have the Giiker Supercube. All three can connect to your phone, track your solves, and time for you, as well as battle people online. They're all really cool. So I'm going to go through, first off, the unboxing experience for all three, real just briefly. Then we'll talk about the features for each one. We're going to talk about which one's best for speedcubing and how they are for speedcubing. We're going to talk about the apps for each one of these. And then we're going to end with the value. Which one's the best value? Which one's the best one for you? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, hit the like button and let's just get started. So the only reason I really want to talk about the unboxing experience is because I really want to plug my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go check out my Instagram. On there, I actually post a lot of stories, and I posted all three unboxings in stories on my Instagram, and they're actually in a highlight on my profile, so you can go watch them if you haven't seen them already. But really, the unboxings, there was really an unexpected surprise with the GoCube. It was a really fun and cool unboxing. It felt like a really premium product. It was like unboxing an Apple product. And the Gans Cube also came in a really nice box. It was really a nice unboxing experience. And the Giiker Cube, well, you know, it was in a box and I pulled it out, and it, you know, it's a puzzle. But obviously the unboxing experience isn't the important thing about these puzzles, but it was, like I said, an unexpected surprise for the GoCube. So let's talk about the more important things. Let's talk about the features of these puzzles. So first off, they all come with their own charger. The chargers are all pretty decent. They all do their job. I do think that the GoCube has the best charger. It's nice. It has a nice looking stand. It also has a light inside the puzzle, which looks cool. And then the charger also like acts as a stand for your phone, which obviously you have an app. You've got your hands on your puzzle, and it's really nice to have a stand for your phone. So that's pretty cool. So the stand is probably the nicest for the GoCube. The Giiker Cube, I really like the headphones. Like, that looks really cool. It definitely does a good job of branding this like puzzle, and I think that's really nice. And the Gans Cube, well, it charges. The charger is pretty ugly, and but it does its job, I guess. So yeah, those are the three chargers. They all obviously have an app. They all connect via Bluetooth, and they all connect pretty well. The only issue I had with connecting to the app was the Gans Cube came and it was charged enough to see the cube, but it wasn't charged enough to connect to the app. So make sure you charge your Gans Cube when it comes. The other two puzzles, they connected right away and had no issues with connecting to the app. So the GoCube and the Gans Cube can actually have this orientation tracker. So not only does it track the current state of the cube, which it knows it's solved, but it also will track the orientation of the cube. So if I turn the cube like this, you can see it turn on the phone. The Gans Cube also does that, but the Gans Cube does something that the GoCube doesn't do, and that's it can track the orientation of a single layer. So as I turn this layer, you can see it's not being updated on the actual phone or the app until I hit halfway, and then all of a sudden it animates a full move. And that's not what's happening here. Let's see what happens for the GAN Cube. So for the GAN Cube, you see it also can track the orientation of the cube. But the thing it does differently is if I start turning a layer, it tracks the kind of orientation of that layer as well. And so I think that's really cool. It's going to be really nice to see, you know, if I'm like this, it actually shows me what I'm seeing, where the GoCube does that to an extent, but it can't do that for like a mid-layer turn. And even with the Gans Cube too, if I turn a layer just a tiny bit, it doesn't notice it until I get about there, and it animates to that spot, and then it does a really good job of knowing its orientation until it gets close, and then it snaps to close. So I think that's pretty neat. The Giiker Cube doesn't have the orientation tracking or the like layer tracking, but it does know the state of the cube, and so it knows when you make a turn, and it like will update the cube, but it's not like tracking the orientation like these two cubes are. So the only other features really to talk about is about whether or not they come stickered or stickerless. The GoCube comes stickerless. The Gans Cube, you can actually get both, either like this, stickerless, or you can get it with stickers. And the Giiker Cube comes with stickers. And then the other feature really is the GoCube comes with an internal light, so you can see it's lit up. and it looks really cool, but it is a little bit gimmicky because I was hoping you could use this light to solve the cube in like pitch dark, like if you're outside at night, or if it's really dark, you could turn this light on and you could see the cube and solve it at night. But that's not really the case because red and orange look absolutely identical at night, and that's really disappointing. I was hoping you could solve a cube in the dark. That would be really cool. It would have made this light really kind of like an actual feature. But it does look cool, and part of, you know, cubing is, it's kind of fun to have something that looks cool. So yeah, so the light is pretty neat. Next I want to talk about how these are for speed cubing. I'm only going to talk briefly about how these puzzles perform as speed cubes, since I'm not really up to date with the latest on speed cubing today. All three of them are modern designs with magnets, so they're all magnetized, and they all turn really well in my opinion. They all corner cut great, they all reverse corner cut very well. You can see that the corners kind of float over the centers as you reverse corner cut on all three of these puzzles. And yeah, they just turn really good. However, the GoCube is probably the worst of the three in terms of speed cubing. The pillowed nature of the puzzle, like I feel like my fingers are kind of sliding off the layers as I'm making turns. The other thing I noticed is it's actually a lot heavier. I actually weighed it. The GoCube is 4.4 ounces, where the Gans Cube is 2.7 ounces, and the Gans Cube feels much lighter, and I notice I'm fatiguing more with the GoCube. And then the other thing I noticed, I'm just getting faster times on these two cubes than I am on the GoCube. So I find myself wanting to play with these two much more than the GoCube, just because I know I'm getting faster times. So I think these two are actually better at being a speed cube than the GoCube. And then between these two, the Giiker Cube actually has a very interesting feel to it. It has like this clickety sound to it, and I don't know what it is, but I find that it's actually really satisfying to me, and I really like how that feels. But the more I play with it, the more I think the Gans Cube is just the best of the group. I think it's just the fastest. Right out of the box, it turns great. I haven't lubricated. It did come with a little bit of lubrication, but I haven't lubricated. But it just doesn't need it, in my opinion, at least for me. Maybe you guys know better than I do, but yeah, I think the Gans Cube is really awesome. It's definitely the best speed cube I own, and it's also a smart speed cube, which I think is crazy. So that's really cool. So now I'm going to talk about the apps, and I'm going to start with the GoCube, and I already talked a lot about the GoCube app in my previous video, so check that out. But now after playing with the other apps and really playing with this a lot more, I'm actually a lot more critical, so I'm going to be a lot more critical now. But to me, the biggest kind of problem with the app is there's just too much. Like when I open the app, I want to do one of two things. I either want to battle someone, or I'm going to want to do like a timed match for myself. And where do I do that from this home page? It's none of these buttons. You'd actually have to know to tap this icon, which looks like, I don't know, is that a mitten? I'm not exactly sure, but it's actually this one, which is matches. So now I see it's called matches. And then it's actually these middle two options. I don't know why it's not at the top. Like these two are probably the more important ones. And so these are the only two things I really want to do, and I want to do that often. And then every once in a while, maybe I want to look at the leaderboard, especially if I get a new best time. I want to see where I'm going to be. And then the other thing, I already was critical about this, but like I just don't understand these games. Like I get it, you guys can do some cool stuff with this GoCube, but like if you're going to buy a smart cube that can track your like times and show you how fast you did each step in CFOP, why are you going to want to do these like little games here? Like I don't quite understand it. Like let's start here. So I need to match that, I guess. And so what is that? It's like this. Okay, and now I need all yellow. So yeah, like I just don't quite understand it. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe you guys like this stuff. Let me know in the comments. But to me, like I think they're just trying to do way too much here. They just need to simplify it. And I think for the most part, they've got the best scrambling experience. So if I do a solo match, like the like design from all this is just really the best. Like if I always, for instance, I always get confused on back. I don't know if it's this way or that way. And when I mess up, it does a really good job of telling me, no, it's the other direction. And so like in terms of like the design of this like solo scrambling and solo solving, like the GoCube does an awesome job. It might actually be the best of all of them. So yeah, that's the GoCube app. Let's now talk about the Gans Cube app. So here's the Gans Cube app, and like I mentioned earlier, like there's only two things I want to do when I open one of these apps. I either want to battle someone online, or I'm going to want to just do solves by myself. And as you can see, there's two main options: personal training, so it's just doing solves yourself, and then online battles. So to me, this is probably the best of the three in terms of the overall UX. There's also stats down here, and then you can like see your friends and settings. So to me, this is exactly all I want in like a cubing app for a smart cube. But yeah, so let's go into personal training. They actually just redesigned all of this, so I'm not exactly familiar with it. I think this UX looks a little silly, but let's just jump into an algorithm scramble. And let me show you guys how scrambling works on the Gans Cube. So now I got it set up. Let me show you guys like a scramble on the Gans Cube. And I have to say, even though I think the UX is better on this app, and I think the tracking is the best on this app, as soon as I click scramble, scrambling is actually the worst on this app. So let's see, I got to do a back inverted, an up, a down, a front, a down, a right, front, left. Okay, so here's an example. So right now it's let's do the down, front. So now it's telling me to do this down move, and I always mix up down inverted with down, the normal down. So let me do a clockwise down instead of the down inverted, and notice my eyes will be on the back too. Whoa, all of a sudden it moved. And what did I do? I just did a down inverted. Now it's telling me to do an up two, but I just did a down inverted. So now I do like a down, and now it's telling me to just do an up. Like, it's so confusing. I don't know what's happening. And now it seems like more moves are being added. I don't know what's going on here. But the main thing to do is actually to do these standard timing solves. And that only gives you 30 seconds. You have 15 seconds to do the scramble, and then 15 seconds of inspection. So if you end up taking 20 seconds to do the scramble, you only get 10 seconds of inspection. And I've had times where like the algorithm's moving around so many times, I can't even get the scramble scrambled in 30 seconds. And drives me absolutely nuts. So like scrambling is terrible on this. And maybe I just am a bad scrambler, and I've actually found that I've improved quite a bit since using it. But yeah, that just drives me crazy. The other thing the Gans Cube is actually probably does the best at is the stats. And unfortunately, in the last update, I lost my stats. It doesn't show it to me anymore. So that's really a shame. I wish they were actually better at that. But it does at least keep all my solves. So here's all the solves I've done with the puzzle. Man, it's too bad. It doesn't show me my average of 100 anymore, which is too bad. But if I can go to my save, these are my best solves here. So I actually got a PB with this cube. I got 16.63 seconds. That's the fastest I've ever solved a cube. My previous personal best was actually back in 2002. So like, wow, that's like the best time in like, I don't know, is that 18 years or 17 years, something like that? That's amazing. So it felt so good to get a personal best. And what's really cool is I can hit this play button and it'll play my solve for you. And it's actually, this is the best of the three. It like replays the solve like when I made the turn, so you can see the pauses when I made my pauses. And yeah, this does it better than the other cubes, the other apps. But like the other apps, it doesn't really understand how I'm solving the cube because I solve the cube corners first. Let's look at the next one. The next one's an 18-second solve. And so it's trying to like do my corners first and shove it into a CFOP. So it's like saying, okay, I did the cross here. It took me 57 moves before I had a cross solved. And then it took me 18 more moves to get my first two layers. And then one move to get the last layer, to get the PLL, which is a little ridiculous, but whatever. So yeah, here's this solve. So this is me solving. This is like an 18-second time. And so I really like the way it's like replaying the solve, although I wish it would have saved that orientation data it captured and showed it to me again so I could see exactly how I was looking at the cube as I was solving it as well. But it does a pretty decent job, and it's better, it shows the replay better on this puzzle than it does the other two. So here's the Giiker Cube app, and it too has a simpler UI, although it doesn't get quite the right things. Like I said, the two things I care about is battle mode and like time trials, and the battle mode's down here and the time trials are right here. So learn and game, to me, those should be the like little things at the bottom. They're not as important to me. But whatever, let me show you guys the battle. So it actually, I would say the Giiker Cube does the best at the battles, at least for now. And that's because the GoCube, actually, you're battling against like bots, which is too bad. And then the Gans Cube, they just redesigned it, and I can't match with anybody. And that might be because there's not many people with the Gans Cube yet. But as you can see, this is actually matching me with people, and I believe they're real. So I don't know exactly, maybe they are bots. But let me show you guys a battle. So I got to first scramble it like this. And it only shows you one move at a time when you're doing a battle, which is really annoying. But yeah, so because I'm talking and doing this, the person I'm battling is probably scrambling faster than me. So they'll be waiting for me and getting longer time of inspection. Okay, so yeah, they were already done. So we get 10 seconds to inspect. Wow, my corners are almost done for me on the red, which is nice. So pretty good, 23.9 seconds, and definitely beat this person who solved it in, let's find out, 28 seconds. So there we go. So yeah, that's the battle. So this one definitely has the best battle. Maybe it's just because it's the only one actually battling real people, but hopefully the battles get better on everyone else. So let me show you guys a time trial. First, you can see it's not like tracking the orientation of the cube, but you can see the entire scramble here, which is really nice. So I can do a scramble, it just feels better for me to look at a scramble like this than it did any of the other ways. But yeah, so I can do my scramble. And now I've got like normal inspection, which feels right to me. So there's my time, and you can see your time real big. It just feels right, like, and then it shows me my next algorithm. So to me, I really enjoy this, even though it's not doing the orientation tracking. Like, I can see the entire scramble, I see my time. Like, this is exactly what you want for something, and also your moves and turns per second. I think that's pretty cool. And then you can click over here to see your previous times, how your average of 5 is doing, and like, I don't know. So this puzzle, you know, it just works really well with the app. You can just start timing yourself and seeing how you improve over time. So now let's talk about value and how much each of these cost. I bought all of them, and let's start with the cheapest one. That's the Giiker Cube. So this one I got on Amazon for $45, but I believe you can also get it on eBay for as low as $30, and maybe even lower, like $29, which is really an amazing price. It's definitely the best value. It doesn't do the orientation tracking, but it does everything else, and the app is pretty decent. So I definitely would recommend this one if you don't have that much money and you just want to get a smart cube. The Giiker Cube is a great smart cube. You should definitely check it out. But if you're a speed cuber, you're really into speed cubing, you're probably more interested in the Gans Cube. And between these two, they're about the same price. The Gans Cube, I see it listed for like 120 all over the place. But I believe the Cubicle has it for 90, but it says pre-order, so I don't know if they're shipping those out yet or not. So yeah, that's this one, and then the GoCube is $100. But between these two, the Gans is the better speed cube, and I think it's got a more logical app. Although the app is not perfect, none of the apps are perfect. Definitely, there's still some Chinese in the app, so if you speak English, you're gonna hope that they fix that. And then I still have some other gripes in the app. And then the GoCube at, I believe, $100. The GoCube is still a good value. It definitely has the wow factor. It looks the coolest. I love the light inside. I wish the light would have helped when it's dark out. But I think it's really cool. And it definitely has a wow factor. I think people, it's more of a head turner. People are interested when they see that. They'll see that it's not a Rubik's brand cube. They'll be like, hey, that's not a Rubik's Cube. What's that? And I'm really glad that all three of these companies are innovating, and I think they're all really awesome. And my favorite thing is that it makes me want to pick up the cube and play with it more. And I'm like addicted to solving the cube like I was back in like the early 2000s. In fact, I got a personal best after like 17 years, which is really awesome. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, that's these three cubes. I don't really have much more to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks guys for watching, and of course, have a great day.